Hey folks, it's Chris from Airwindows. I've been keeping myself really busy. I have an update for monitoring coming out, which lets you have some new variations on the Orotone model. I'm trying to figure out, post if you have strong opinions on this, whether I need to add, in addition to that, a super strong cans mode, because I have the two levels that I think are appropriate, but people seem to be wanting a super intense mode for whatever reason. But what I have here is something that I've talked about before, Channel 7. I'll be pretty brief because this is pretty straightforward. You should be able to just use it and appreciate the benefits over Channel 6 and 5 and so on and so forth. Essentially, Channel has always had a very sort of soft and mushy distortion, and Channel 6 changed it to the spiral distortion, which is a lot cleaner but lacked some of the low beefiness to it. Also, it turns out that Channel had the same thing as Interstage, where at high sample rates, the slew stuff was kicking in too early. So what's going on with Channel 7 is that it has the slew stuff fixed so that it will behave normally at high sample rates. And you'll notice that drive goes to 200% rather than 100. Here's how that works. If you start it and turn it up, and of course we've got output level and the selections between different modelings, which are that's just a Airwindows interleaved IR high pass and the slew clipping thing. But here's what drive does now. 0 to 100% goes from nothing to spiral. And from that point on, rather than try to come up with a special algorithm for evolving between spiral, and because me trying to come up with a special algorithm got me Mojo and so on, but it didn't give me what was being asked for, which is please let me go between channel 6 and channel 5. So channel 7 does this. From this point on, it goes to spiral, and then from 100 to 200%, it fades from spiral to the original channel overdrive, which is a little less clear, but it is also sort of thicker and beefier. So what you get is a very gradual gain curve. And this goes from 0, and it brings up a very subtle drive. But then if you wanted to go beyond, you push it a little more, and it thickens things up some. And of course we can do the console things, which will be more relevant if you have like really bright extreme stuff going on. That's always very subtle. And that's pretty simple, really. So channel 7 is for you to use. It is, I think, a suitable update to all previous channels. So if you use anything with channel on it, you might as well switch to this one, because it's going to have everything going on better, including the fix for high sample rate slew clipping. And the drive control now has a broad range from nothing to spiral, which is really, really clean, and then a nice little crossfade between spiral and the original density algorithm. So there you go. That is exactly what I was asked for a while back, and once I tried to stop doing some elaborate algorithm and just was like, let's just crossfade this, that worked out pretty well. If you love this plugin to the point where you jumped on my Patreon, consider this a free update, But if this is amazing and you never used it before and you're like, oh my goodness, I must buy this. The way you buy stuff for me, since I'm letting you have it anyway, consider it like an ultimate infinite free test drive sort of thing, is jump on my Patreon and add like $50 a year if you want to encourage me doing more of this stuff. Because the more I get from the Patreon, the more I can do with it. And I have a lot of cool things in store. That's one of the reasons I look a little tired is I have been working on a bunch of stuff. And I have some pretty grand plans. As far as me building hardware things, you basically see that on Instagram because that's the stuff that can be photographed. And you're going to see some new weird things in the Airwindows Instagram as stuff starts coming together. I talk about it on the Monday live stream. And I've been getting more into a techno thing for the Tuesday music stream. And I don't know, we'll see. Maybe I can add other kinds of streams. People were asking me to chill out and just sort of have fun and relax. And so maybe what I'll do is I'll do a sort of Minecrafting, playing around with my friends thing. And I might throw that on the Airwindows as well, as long as I can do it in a regular way. And then people will just have to get used to the idea that, like, this is Chris from Airwindows, so depending upon which day you tune into YouTube, it's completely, utterly, and totally different. Go figure. I never said it was going to make sense. This is just how I roll. And in that spirit, I hope you like Channel, as in Channel 7, which is the most recent version. And I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.